Okay, so this video is just going to show you quickly how to create an extract in Domo in the Insights Report Builder to be able to create a CSV file for copying into online learning courses. And the idea here is the particular use case was an orientation course that you want to copy into every single course offering. But this also could be to copy the master content and get that set up as well. So basically, if you look here, I'm just in the CMU just to get the organization. But in order to copy from a master into a child course, what you need is you need the source org unit ID. So the original, what's the org unit ID of the original course? The new course, the course that you're copying it into. What's that name? What's the course code for that course? And what's the template code for that course that you're copying it into? So I'm going to use Domo to get all that information and just spit out a spreadsheet where that's already formatted, ready to go. So once I run this, I literally just upload that into the BCC and it runs. So in order to do that, I just want to quickly talk about the data sets that we're going to use. So remember that Domo works on spreadsheets effectively. So we've got these spreadsheets of data that we need to understand. So I've just Googled Brightspace data sets. I've come to this page. And when you get here, you just want to look for the Brightspace data set for organizational units. And when I come in here, I'm just going to click on this little diagram. So what you're going to be doing is already built for you, but I think it's really important that you understand how it's working so that you can tweak it as you need. So here is the structure. So each of these boxes represents a spreadsheet. So there is a spreadsheet called organizational units. There's another spreadsheet called organizational unit ancestors, organizational unit parents, et cetera, et cetera. So this spreadsheet of organizational units, you can see it contains information about the type of organizational unit. So that would be like a course offering, a department, a semester, a template, the name of whatever that thing is, the code of it, and a whole bunch of other information. So this organizational unit spreadsheet contains literally information about every single solitary organizational unit that you have inside the VLE. So every semester that you've got, every department you've got, every course offering is listed in this particular spreadsheet. Now, what we need is we need to know the course offering that we're looking for. We need to know its name and code, but we also need to know the code of the template for that particular course. Now, in here, in this spreadsheet, it doesn't give you those relationships. It doesn't say like, this is a template and here's what the course is that it's a template of. Instead, it just lists literally everything. Here's courses, here's templates, here's all that stuff. What we need to use is this second one, which is called organizational units parents, because this is related to it. So basically, this particular spreadsheet lists two things. It lists the organizational unit and then the code of the parent to that. So for example, it will list grade 9 science. And then if grade 9 science belongs to the science department, there would be a row in here that lists the grade 9 science course and the code for the science department, plus the code for semester 1 classes, plus the code for the template for that course. So this spreadsheet literally just has a whole bunch of numbers, and what those numbers are the child, a course offering, and all of the parents that belong to it are listed as separate rows on the spreadsheet. So we're going to be working with these two spreadsheets, the organizational units and the organizational unit parent spreadsheets. I'm going to walk you through how the query works, and then I'm going to show you how you can just quickly get it running in yours. You don't have to build this. It's already built for you. You're just going to attach a couple pieces to make it work. But I wanted you to understand how it works so that you can tweak it if there are differences in your board to the way that the demonstration board that I'm working from is doing it. So here we go. So I'm going to jump into, I'm using Hamilton's org, and thank you to Hamilton for letting me use your org. I clicked on Insights Portal, and then you click on Insights Report Builder. You need to be an author. So if you aren't an author, you're going to need to add yourself through that Manage Authors section. But once you're an author, when you click on Insights Report Builder, you'll be brought into Domo. And this is what it looks like when you first come in. Now, I'm going to go into the query that I built and explain to you how it works. And then I'm going to go into the query and show you how you can take the information and just quickly have it in your instance of Domo as well. So let's just look at the query and what it's doing. So here's the query. So you can see, if you remember, I said we needed to use organizational units and organizational units parents. And if you look, here I've got organizational units and organizational units parents. Now I've also added in some notes that I think copy over as well. So that should hopefully help explain what some of this is doing. But let me walk you through it. So the first thing I want to do is I need to get just those e-learning courses as a kind of its own little spreadsheet. So out of this big spreadsheet of everything, I just want to find the e-learning courses. Now, in Hamilton, they use the 21-22 EL, or this current school year, 22-23, but I used last year just to play with. They use EL to indicate an e-learning semester. So I've put in here, if inside of the course code, you've got 21-22 EL Sem 1, pull those courses. So just grab those courses. If in your board, you have a different way that you're noting the online learning courses in a specific semester, that you would include that here. I've also included that the type has to have course offering. So the type is specific. It's set by in the spreadsheet. The different names for the different types of things, course offering is one of them. So basically what this is going to do, and it has to meet both criteria. So basically it's going to take the spreadsheet, find just online learning courses, and now from here, that spreadsheet is just a list of the online learning courses from the 21-22 first semester. So from that, what I want to do is figure out for those courses, what are all those parent codes? Remember we said semester will be a parent code, departments will be a parent code, all of it, right? So we just need to know for these courses that I just got, what are the parent codes? So what I do is I use the organizational parent units and I do a join. And what that join does is it takes any online learning course code and it finds in that other spreadsheet, in that organizational units parents spreadsheet, it's going to find. So it's going to look through the organizational units and find just the course codes that I'm interested in. It takes those org unit IDs and it looks for them inside the parent one. So that grade 9 science course will have a unit ID and it will look here and find all of the grade 9 science unit IDs that match. And it will then include all of those parents. So I would suspect that there would be a department one, there would be a template one, and a semester one. So what this is doing is it's now my spreadsheet has the same courses, grade 9 science, grade 10 art, whatever those online learning courses are, but now multiple copies of them. So it'll be grade 9 science with the department parent, grade 9 science with the semester parent, grade 9 science with the template parent. And it'll do that for every single one. So by the time I get to this little box here, my spreadsheet will have grown by the number of parents that exist. So now what I want to do is just get the templates and get the name of the template. So again, the information about a template is contained in that first spreadsheet. So I'm doing a second kind of bit of work. I'm taking that organizational unit spreadsheet, and now I'm taking it and saying, okay, now filter it on just course templates. So it's going to take that big spreadsheet. It's only going to include the course templates that are listed inside of your org. And I'm now joining my other spreadsheet, which had the courses and all of the different types of parents. I'm joining that with the list of just course templates. And this time what I'm telling it to do is only if it finds an exact match. Match the parent ID to the org unit ID of the template. So that should be the same number. So the parent of the course, match it to my list of templates. And if you find an exact match where both sides have it, that's the stuff that you're including. So basically what this does is it takes that big spreadsheet where it had science and the semester, science and the template, science and the department, and it whittles it down to just science and the template. And it now includes the template name. Because when I was back here, remember the only information I had back there was the org unit ID of the parent, not the name and everything, because the name's all contained in this other spreadsheet. So by doing this join, what it does is it now includes the parent course name as well. So in this case, the course template name. I've added in one more column, which is for the piece that you need for the CMU, which is the source org unit. Now, because we're copying from a master, there's no way to tell it automatically to grab your master source OU. You're going to have to manually do that. Now, in the case of Hamilton, they have an online learning training course that they're wanting to add to every single course. So then they absolutely could just type here that one OU. And basically every row of the spreadsheet will then get that one OU because it's a constant. If you don't know what the OU is, or if you're using this query to create the BCC file to then be able to just plop in, these are the master course OUs that I need, you would just leave it empty. The last step is just there's a whole bunch of extra information. If I look at all of the different columns of the spreadsheet that are here, there's a lot of spreadsheet columns, but I only need a very specific few. And the ones that I need are the source OU, the course name, the course code, and the parent code, which is the template code. So I've got now the information that I need. So that's all this select columns does. It just gets us down to that. And then I've got an output file. So when I run that, I'll show you what it looks like. When I run that, here's what I get. So remember, if I had put in what the OU number was for the training course, that would show up on every row here. But you can see I've got a course, I've got the course code, and there's the template code. So this has now pulled all of the right information for these courses. What I can do with this is I can export it as a CSV file, open it in Excel and add in my source OUs. Or if, in the case of Hamilton, it was a single OU that just needed to go to every course, I could put that in the query. I could edit that in the query, and then it would just spit out, in which case I just save it as a CSV. This is now formatted in the right format for my BCC file. So I could just upload this into the BCC like I normally would. Okay, so how do you go about getting this into your org? So what I've included is the code, which is very messy. It's a text document. So all you're going to do is take this text document, highlight it, and copy it. Inside of Domo, you're going to come in. When you first land in Domo, you land on this dashboard. You're going to click on Data. You're going to come over here and click on ETL. And you're just going to paste. So I'm using Control V. You're going to paste that code that you just copied. And you can see all the boxes and even the notes have come along. So the only thing I need to do now is add in those two inputs. So the first box is organizational units. And the second box is the one that's called organizational unit parents. It's important that this first box is the organizational units and the second one is the parents. Otherwise, this won't work. But if you do that, you'll now see that the complete thing is not grayed out, like nothing's grayed out anymore. You can add a name for what you want to call the output data. So you just click on output data and give it a name, something that you're going to remember. You're going to name the data flow just so that you can find this query again when you're looking for it. And then you can tweak any of the settings that you need. So if you don't use 2122 ELSEM, you can go in and change that. Change it to whatever is in your course codes that's unique to online learning courses for your board for you that semester, right? So that's the whole thing here. You want to make sure that you're getting it unique for the semester and for online learning for this to work. You may want to add in a constant. If you have a source course that you're copying into all of these online learning courses, then you would just type it into where it says empty string. Other than those two filters, everything else you should just leave because it's going to work the way it's supposed to. And then once you're done, you're going to click on Save and Run. You'll need to name that output. You'll need to name the query, but then click on Save and Run. To find it, all you're going to do is once it's run, if you click on the little disks icon over here, I called mine CCB, and here you can see is the CCB. And then to save it, I click on the little 3 dots and I choose Export Data and save it as a CSV. And I guess this isn't actually a CCB, it's a BCC. So I should have called that BCC. So apologies on the naming, but it is a BCC file. Okay, so if you have any questions, don't hesitate to email.